A company that aspires to industry leadership in the 21st century must think in terms of global market leadership. The forces of globalization are changing the competitive landscape in many industries, offering companies attractive new opportunities, but at the same time introducing new competitive threats. Companies in industries where these forces are greatest are under considerable pressure to develop strategies for competing successfully in international markets. An international market is defined geographically as a market outside the international borders of a company's country of citizenship. A company may opt to expand outside its domestic market for any of 5 major reasons. Let's take a look. They may do so to gain access to new customers. Expanding into foreign markets offers potential for increased revenues, profits, and long-term growth, and becomes an especially attractive option when a company's home markets are mature. Or a company may expand internationally to achieve lower costs and enhance the firm's competitiveness. Many companies are driven to sell in more than one country because domestic sales volume alone is not large enough to fully capture manufacturing economies of scale or learning curve effects. A company might expand globally to exploit its core competencies. A company may be able to leverage its competencies and capabilities into a position of competitive advantage in foreign markets as well as domestic markets. Or they might expand to gain access to resources and capabilities located in foreign markets. An increasingly important motive for entering foreign markets is to acquire resources and capabilities that cannot be accessed as readily in the company's home market. And finally, a company might expand internationally to spread its business risk across a wider market base. A company spreads business risks by operating in a number of foreign countries rather than depending entirely on operations in its domestic market. Regardless of the reasons, 4 important factors shape a company's strategic approach to competing in foreign markets. First, the degree to which there's an important cross-country differences in demographic, cultural, and market conditions. Second, whether opportunities exist to gain a location-based advantage based on wage rates, worker productivity, inflation rates, energy costs, tax rates, and other factors that are important to cost structure. Third, the risks of adverse shifts in currency exchange rates, and fourth, the extent to which government policies affect local business climate. A company choosing to expand outside its domestic market may elect one of the following 5 general modes to entry into a foreign market. These foreign models of entry include 1. Maintaining a national, one-country production base and exporting goods to foreign markets. 2. Licensing foreign firms to produce and distribute the company's products abroad. 3. Employing a franchise strategy. 4. Establishing a subsidiary in a foreign market via acquisition or internal development. And 5th and finally, relying on strategic alliances or joint ventures with foreign partners to enter new country markets. Using domestic plants as a production base for exporting goods to foreign markets is an excellent initial strategy for pursuing international sales. Licensing as an entry strategy makes sense when a firm with valuable technical know-how or a unique patented product has neither the internal organizational capability nor the resources to enter foreign markets. Licensing also has the advantage of avoiding the risks of committing internal resources to country markets that are unfamiliar, politically volatile, economically unstable, or otherwise risky. While licensing works well for manufacturers and owners of proprietary technology, franchising is often better suited to the global expansion efforts of service and retailing enterprises. While exporting, licensing, and franchising rely upon the resources and capabilities of allies in international markets to deliver goods or services to buyers, companies pursuing international expansion may elect to take responsibility for the performance of all essential value chain activities in those foreign markets. Strategic alliances, joint ventures, and other cooperative agreements with foreign companies are a favorite and potentially fruitful means of entering a foreign market or strengthening a firm's competitiveness in world markets. Differing market conditions across countries influence a company's strategy choices in international markets. Typically, a company will start to compete internationally by entering just one or perhaps a few select foreign markets, selling its product or services in countries where there's a ready market for them. But as it expands further internationally, it will have to confront head-on the conflicting pressures of local responsiveness versus efficiency gains from standardizing its product offering globally. A company's international strategy is the strategy for competing in two or more countries simultaneously. Deciding upon the degree to vary its competitive approach to fit the specific market conditions and buyer preferences in each host country is perhaps the foremost strategic issue that must be addressed when operating in two or more foreign markets. An organization has three principal strategic options for competing internationally. Let's take a look. An international strategy calls for various product offering and competitive approach from country to country to be responsive to cross-country differences in preferences, habits, distribution channels, and marketing methods. Think local, act local strategy making approaches are also essential when host government regulations or trade policies preclude a uniform, coordinated worldwide market approach. Global strategies employ the same basic cooperative approach in all countries where a company operates and are best suited to industries that are globally standardized in terms of customer preferences, buyer purchasing habits, distribution channels, or marketing methods. This is the Think Global, Act Global strategic theme. A transitional strategy is the Think Global, Act Local approach to strategy making, which involves employing essentially the same strategic theme, low cost, differentiation, focused, or best cost, in all country markets while allowing some country-to-country customization to fit local market conditions. As a rule, most companies that operate internationally endeavor to employ as global a strategy as customer needs and market conditions permit. 1. It can use location to lower costs or help achieve greater product differentiation. And 2. It can use cross-border coordination in ways that a domestic-only competitor cannot. Companies that compete internationally can pursue competitive advantage in world markets by locating their value chain activities in whichever nations prove most advantageous. To use location to build competitive advantage, a company must consider two issues. First, whether to concentrate each international process in a few countries or disperse performance of each process into many nations, and 2, in which countries to locate particular activities. Profitability in emerging markets rarely comes quickly or easily. New entrants have to adapt their business models and strategies to local conditions and be patient in earning a profit.